Hey everyone, this is just a quick show and tell of a 1950s Bakelite radio. This is a Zenith. They called them the Owl Eye because it had the like two big owl eyes on either side. You have the tuner on one side and the clock on the other. This is a brown Bakelite. Has a little Telechron clock on there, and yeah, I've kind of taken a break from everything and decided to finally get around to restoring the exterior and replacing some wax paper caps inside this radio. And as you can see, it's turned out quite nicely. Yeah, I'll kind of show the back here. Before I go take a look at the back though, I just want to give a little background of this radio. I've had it for years, like probably 11, maybe 12 years. Bought this at a garage sale for $5. I'm guessing it was an estate sale. Actually, my SLV N750 VCR was bought at the same garage sale, basically new in box. They were selling a ton of very new VCRs, lots of DVD recorders that the guy used, and then this was there. And, the cord was just falling apart. It was apparently used in his kitchen as a daily radio. And I kept it, I used it, I did nothing to the inside, and it's worked very, very well for me. Up until, just now, I've decided to kind of do some stuff with it. But yeah, now let's take a look at the back. The trick with filming things out of order is to keep the background consistent. Here's a look on the inside. Just sort of cleaned everything up. This is actually the original electrolytic, but these seem to work pretty well. There is zero hum, doesn't get warm, so I decided to leave this in. All I replaced was I think there was 3 wax paper capacitors inside, and obviously this power cable has been replaced. And I have the cover off the clock mechanism. Let's see that here. So this part of the Telechron motor, so you have the windings that go around here, and then this is a little sealed unit that sort of wedges in, and it was noisy, making some scraping sounds, and it had a good hum. And I found someone on YouTube who recommended, I think he works on like new tone stuff, like doorbells and clocks and things, and he recommended just to bake it in an oven or a toaster oven or something, bring it up to about 300, 325 Fahrenheit, and as it cools down, it will sort of suck some 3-in-1 oil into where the output shaft. So there's a 1 gear on top, and there's an output shaft that goes into the sealed unit. So I was able to get to suck in quite a bit of 3-in-1 oil, which it's not the best. You'd probably want to clean off the old dried grease inside, but this thing's whisper quiet, keeps good time now. So that was a success. And that, it was just a matter of kind of cleaning everything up. This I probably didn't even need to replace those wax paper capacitors. It did work good, but I don't want them to start shorting and causing other problems in here. So there we go. Got the little paper cover back on. This wire is just as long as it needs to be and not an inch longer. So you can get this cover on without taking the whole chassis out. You just have to remove this tube and sort of work it around there. This wire makes it a real pain in the butt to do anything in here, because you can't really, you can disconnect the speaker. It's got little clips that go in there, but you can't disconnect the power wires going to and from the clock. So with that, you need to kind of pull the chassis out and pull it to the side and then take the clock out, and it's all just a real mess. But yeah, that's the inside, nice and clean. Not sure what these marks are. Something in the Bakelite molding process, I'm sure. They're on both sides. And they're not scratches, they're actually bumps, I guess, from the molding. Then the final cover on the back here is the cardboard cover that has the antenna built into it. And it's got these little clips that just sort of push into the Bakelite and hold this on. You see it's pretty ratty from being opened up over the years to change the tubes. Not a big fan of these. Kind of hard to remove without adding to the scratches on the back, but whatever. Other than the fact that one of them is missing, it's in pretty good shape. Plan to find a replacement for that. And here's a look at the bottom. The instructions. They're still in reasonably good shape. Tube chart's not in the best shape though, but it's still readable. So I know the chassis is a 5K03. I'm not sure of the specific model. On the back, I believe that's the serial number. That could be a model number, I don't know. As far as the radio inside goes, this is what they call an All-American 5. It's a very simple radio design that has 5 tubes, and the filaments are all run in series. So in this case you have 3 12-volt filament tubes, a 50-volt filament, and a 35. And that adds up to, what, like 121 volts? So it adds up to line voltage. And of course it's series string though. And it also, because it doesn't have a transformer, some people call them these live chassis sets, you don't have an isolation transformer. So as the warning that everyone always says, if you're going to work on these, get yourself an isolation transformer. Do not work on it live. The metal chassis, while it is supposed to be isolated, it's usually isolated through an old wax paper cap that generally short. Some of these aren't even isolated and they're just intended to, you know, make sure that you have neutral connected to the chassis, but you know, they're old and they didn't come with polarized plugs, or someone just replaced the plug on the end because it wore out and they didn't get it right, hooked it up backwards, didn't put a polarized one on there. Just be careful on these hot chassis radios. It's currently like 32 and high humidity outside right now. I don't know why I decided to work on a tube radio in the middle of the summer, but here we are. This will definitely need an alignment. Maybe it's got a weak tube in it, but this tuner is definitely underperforming. So I'm upstairs, as far away from most noise that I can find. It's still getting some, obviously, but you'll hear what I mean. Right around here, there should be 990 AM, and it's completely mute. Like there's just no station here at all. So.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what sleep apnea is,
So that's 1290, I think.
So overweight that at night. We are going to be asking to participate in this study, and so they will.
I just want to stop. The domain name systems don't only house one website.
Yeah, that's real weak. Anyway, this is just a quick show off of this beautiful Zenith Owl Eye clock radio from everywhere I read online says around 1950. I don't know if they mean 1950s or 1950. This kind of feels like early 1950s, so like 1950 itself. Hard to say though. But yeah, this is an absolute beautiful radio. Very happy with how it turned out. And just basically used some Brasso. I don't know, I'm kind of new to the whole polishing Bakelite. So I tested this on a radio I don't care about as much, and it turned out just amazing. So I tried it on here. Another channel had suggested even putting a bit of this Wood Care liquid gold. I tried that on another radio and I found that it just makes it a little bit too greasy. So your fingerprints tend to show up and kind of get all dusty and greasy on top. I found just the Brasso by itself is enough to make it shine. So